Imagine the wide, misty waters of the Potomac River. Before any monuments, before any marble buildings, there was only water, wind, and the quiet footsteps of the Nacotchtank people. They were the first inhabitants of this land, fishing the river with nets woven from grass and trading along its banks. Long before Washington was even a name on a map, this place had its own rhythm, its own life. The first outsiders to see this region weren't looking to build a capital. In the early 1500s, Spanish explorers sailed up from Florida, tracing the edge of the Chesapeake Bay. Their logs described deep forests and quiet shores, a land that seemed to stretch on forever. They saw it, but they didn't stay. Decades later, French fur traders drifted down the same waterways. They met the local tribes, listened to their stories, and for a brief moment, the idea of a French settlement was a possibility. But like the Spanish, they moved on. The Dutch came next, merchants searching for trade routes, but they never ventured far enough inland to claim this future sacred ground. It was the English who finally put down roots. Their colonies in Virginia and Maryland grew, wrapping around the Potomac. Tobacco fields spread, wooden churches were built, and roads were carved through the forests. Slowly, the world of the Nacotchtank began to fade, pushed aside by a growing empire that didn't yet grasp the importance of this land. For over a century, the area remained quiet, fertile, and useful, but largely forgotten by history. No major battles were fought here. No great dramas unfolded. Washington's story didn't begin with a bang, but with a long, patient silence. Then came the American Revolution. A new nation was born, and it needed a hard, a central, neutral place that didn't belong to the northern merchants or the southern planters. George Washington, who had surveyed these very shores as a young man, remembered the shimmering light on the Potomac. He chose this spot not for what it was, but for what it could become. In 1790, Congress approved the creation of a federal district. A year later, an engineer named Pierre Charles L. Infant stood in the muddy fields and sketched a vision of grand avenues and public squares. And just like that, Washington was born.